The late game in Palworld can be tough. I'm currently level 45, and I feel like I'm going to spend the last third of this game getting through the last 5 levels. It really does take a long time to get to these higher levels once you're after level 45 and be able to take out these legendary pals. The reason for that is because you breed these perfect pals like this Shadow Beak that I bred, and now you need to level it up, right? It needs to be this pal to be strong enough to take on the legendaries, but he's not a high enough level to be useful enough in these fights. So the other reason is because you need really good gear to be able to take on these legendary pals, like this legendary assault rifle schematic that I'm going to show you exactly how I got. The other thing that you need to be able to beat the late game is going to be a ton of polymer and a ton of ammo. Right, you're gonna need high quality pal oil to make that polymer, and you're gonna need a ton of ammo to be able to fight these legendaries, right? And we all know that the best way to get ammo is with gold, right? There's people out there that are gonna tell you the best way to get ammo is to make it at your mining base. The problem is that's really stupid. The best way to get ammo is with gold, and gold becomes more valuable the later you are in the game. So what I'm gonna tell you right now is there's a route. There's a specific route that you can run in Palworld right below the ice biome that solves literally every single one of these problems. You're going to get a ton of gold, you're going to get a ton of high quality pal oil, you're going to get a ton of levels, okay? And you're also going to get a ton of great legendary and epic gear, and it is right here, right below the ice biome on the Icy Weasel Hill. You can also find some chill. It's pretty cute, okay? The reason this is so great is because we got 2 dungeons right on these markers, okay? You can do these dungeons every 15 minutes. Dungeons are great because they have all of that legendary gear. They have insane gear. They're absolutely worth doing. Now, we've got 2. You can do one every 15 minutes. We got 2 of them, 7.5 minutes, okay? The other thing that we got up here is you're going to be following this trail, right? You're going to be following this trail. There's going to be mammoths, and you can farm these mammoths to get high quality pal oil. At the end of this trail, there's going to be this section right here, which is going to spawn 4 golden chests. The other thing that's going to happen is you're going to have a, what's it called, a quartz node down there where I just put that pickaxe icon right there, right? So you're going to follow this little loop right here, and the other thing I'm about to indicate is that there's a black marketeer right at the end of the trail, right? So what happens is you farm the mammoths, you do a dungeon, you stop by the golden chest, you get your quartz, and you kill the black marketeer that's up there. That way you get every single material that you guys need in the late game for Palworld. I'm telling you, I have done this just a couple times, and I just min-maxed the late game. Like, it gets you everything that you need to finish out the last 5 levels in this game, which otherwise would take literally a third of the game, because it's such a grind to get these levels. So let me show you. The first thing I want to do is find some ammonis, but real quick I want to show you guys the entrance to the dungeon there. There's a couple. This one just happens to be closest to the loop. So there's the entrance to the dungeon. They're pretty easy to spot because they have this icy generation in the green terrain. It's a level 45 dungeon, so you're going to get the end game loot in there. Okay. The next thing we're going to be looking for is the mammoths. Okay. Basically, there's gonna be slower parts of this video because I'm basically just gonna be following along with what's going on here. But I want to explain to you guys how to, because I've min-maxed this out. You know, I want to show you guys the best way to do this loop. If you have Shadow Beak, the way you use this ability is by flying over them, so all the shots hit. If you fly on the ground, those shots have a tendency to hit terrain. So just flying over them, pick up the high quality pal oil. Got 20, and I got mammoth meat, so I don't need to worry about food on this route. It's self-sustaining because the mammoths you kill are gonna feed your pals. Okay. The next thing we're going to do, we're just going to follow this path all the way up to the end. And what's going to spawn in here is a black marketeer. And he's going to respawn every time we do this route because he's going to head out of the instantiation distance. I'm just going to wait real quick for my stamina to regen, hit this guy with Dark Laser, and then hit him with Nightmare Ball, and finish him out with a couple shotgun shots. Killing black marketeers is far and away the fastest way to get gold in this game. And the later you get into this game, the more valuable gold becomes, because that assault rifle ammo and that shotgun ammo, using refined ingots, is just not worth making. Over here, there's 4 golden chests that spawned in. That's how I got my legendary assault rifle schematic from these chests. It hasn't respawned since, so if you guys know what's going on in the comments over here, do these chests respawn? What kind of timer is it on? But if you haven't gotten these chests, just go get them. I mean, it's 4 golden chests, there's good loot and that stuff. Another part of doing this loop is we have these like high level pals, like 36 and 40, that are going to give you good XP whether you kill them or whether you capture them. If you have the room in your pal deck, go ahead and capture them. It's going to give you more XP. My pal deck is full, so I have to kill them. But there is one pal I'm going to show you on this loop that you absolutely have to capture to 20x the XP that you get, okay? Down here is where you're going to find the crystal node. I'm just going to let my Shadow Beak go here. I usually carry the sword. Good for lumbering, good for mining, good for attack damage. Sometimes you don't want to kill something in one shot, and the sword just becomes super useful because it does decent damage. 350. And it looks like my Shadow Beak found a Mammoth there, which is kind of a lucky find. So, yeah, I just noticed him because Shadow Beak ran by him. I was like, hey, where's this dude going? So yeah, just gonna fly over. If you got a good pal, super easy to farm these Mammoths. Scoop that boy up real quick. So you guys can kind of see how this is all playing out. Don't get me wrong, we absolutely have not gotten to the best part of this route. The best part of this route is for sure the dungeon, so stick around for that, because I'm going to show you guys why you want to be going into these level 45 dungeons. If you're, let's say, level 42 and above, if you're below that, then skill issue get better. But if you're like level 42 and above, then you need to be hitting these dungeons because they're going to give you the gear that you absolutely need to take on those legendary pals in the late game. Okay, so I just happened to find another Mammoth out here, got a little lucky. You know, a little Nightmare Ball, finish him off with a shotgun. And I'm going to head into that dungeon. Before I do that though, real quick, I'm just going to take advantage of the Mammoths that I'm finding on the way. This is how you do it. I mean, this is exactly how you do it. You're like, basically, you're trying to path the best way you can on this little route here. But yeah, the big reason for that is I just got this perfect Shadow Beak, and he's pretty sick. But I have to level him up because he's level 42. But he's perfect, and he's like really, you know, he's the tool I need to finish out this game. You know, while you're grinding for XP in the late game for these pals that you're breeding, you might as well be getting polymer, right? You might as well be getting gold. You might as well be getting legendary loot while you're grinding for XP, and this is the best way to do it. So, it looks like I didn't head out quite far enough to respawn this guy. Alright, and now he's there, so. We just gotta take care of this guy real quick. That ability's super cool, by the way. I mean, tell me that thing isn't sick, right? It's basically a machine gun. It's just the coolest ability in the game. Finish this guy off, right? Nice little 2 golden keys, 20,000 gold. Absolutely unrivaled in terms of farming gold. I'm not going to head over there. I'm not going to do the full route. I'm going to cut the loop short this time, and I'm going to head into the dungeon. And I'm going to show you guys why the dungeon is so key. There's a couple things I'll show you. I'll show you how to really get through these dungeons quickly in this game. The first thing is you need a mount. And anybody who's telling you anything other than a Pyron, God, they're just beyond stupid. Okay, the Pyron is the best dungeon mount. Let me show you why. That's why. Is because of his passive. His passive, I forget what it's called. I'll pull it up right here, yeah. Black Hair. Right now, it's increasing my damage by 80%, and if I got that to level 5, it would be increasing my shotgun damage by 100%. And it just saves you ammo, saves you time. By the way, these genetic researchers, they drop 600 gold and they drop 2 silver keys each. I feel like I'm always running out of silver keys, so those guys are worth killing. This is up to you. I have a stone pit and I have like level 3 watering pals and level 4 watering pals to get Paldium, but these big ores are a really easy way to get some Paldium extremely quickly. So you have that room, which just is like a room with a chest in it, and then you have that room, which is just another room with a mediocre chest, not worth it. And then you have that room, which is a wall, right? You want to go into the one with a wall because it's gonna have a fork, right? You take the right side of the fork with the water. You want to get to this room with the water. The water is going to lead you to the end or very close to the end. So that, just so you know, that's how you get to the end of the dungeons quickly. And the secret to these dungeons is a couple. One is Pyron knocked. 2, follow the right side of the fork with the water. And 3, you're always going to want to capture this alpha pal at the end. 1, because it has great base stats, and you might want that for breeding purposes, right? If you want its offspring to have great base stats. It's just a good way to guarantee that. Second reason is for XP. Look at that. That's insane. Like, there's no other way to get 20,000 XP. So that's really good there. And then also the best part of all these dungeons is these, you know, the chests at the end, right? So there we go. That's what we're talking about. We just got a freaking Palmetal armor level 3 schematic. God, I need that so desperately. Right? I need that for the late game. And I also got the golden assault rifle schematic doing this exact same route. So I'm telling you guys, this is the quickest way to get everything that you need for the late game. You get these 6 schematics that like people like grind so long for just in these dungeon chests, in these level 45 dungeon chests. You get gold, you get polymer, right? So it's just so absolutely insane that like I found this little spot. I'm giving you guys all the tools. Feel free to use as many or as few of them as you want. What I'll do here is I'll basically just head up. I might go kill the Black Marketeer one more time. So yeah, I just dashed away a little bit to make sure I was outside of the respawn or the spawn distance for this Black Marketeer. And basically just gonna head up here, position myself correctly, do a little nightmare ball, nightmare, and then do divine and see if I can deal with this guy promptly. There we go. And then a little laser. No, a little laser. Nothing. A little laser never hurt nobody except for that guy. Watch that. That's a pro move right there. There we go. Sweet. Real quick, I just wanted to show you guys the loot that I got. I emptied out my inventory before I did this video, so everything I got here is from this route. So I got 2 diamonds. I had the gold keys. Don't worry about that. I did get 4 silver keys, 55 quartz, 78 leather, 84 pal oil, 80 palladium fragments. We did get the future technical manual as well as the cold resistant Palmetal armor epic schematic, right? And then I got that assault rifle schematic I did just on the route before this. Need to make that. You'll see that there. I also leveled up my Shadow Beak 1 level. Let's see. And then there's one more thing. I started this with like either 160 or 180,000 gold. I think we killed the Black Marketeer 3 times, so that should be 60,000 gold that we did on this route. And now the route took me about, this is a 15-minute video, right? I spent about 5 minutes explaining it and about 10 minutes doing the route. So doing a dungeon, doing the route a couple times took me 10 minutes. Go ahead and take all of these things that I got, multiply it by 2 if you're going to do this for 20 minutes, multiply it by 6 if you're going to do it for an hour. It's not bad. Doing this is like going to breeze through the late game nice and quick. Alright guys, thank you for watching.